Hola amigos, es Jorge Antonio. Here we are in program on the show En Mi Tierra with Miss Hannah Brown. She is a daughter, she is an aunt, she's a sister, she's a friend, she's a cousin, she's a granddaughter. She's an amazing spirit here in Denver, Colorado. It's such a pleasure and honor to have her on this program to share her heart story. Welcome, Hannah, to our program.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Anthony. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Hannah, for people who don't know who you are, can you share a little bit about who you are and where you come from?
Of course, I am a small town girl here in Denver, Colorado. I come from a pastoral background. My parents are pastors. I graduated from Denver South High School. We don't have to give timelines because it will date me. But all of my sisters and I, we graduated from Denver South. And my brother, he graduated from TJ. So I'm 27 years old now. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Yeah. So you were a PK, a pastor's kid then?
I am. I'm a PK. I am. You know what they say about us.
Yeah? What do they say?
Oh, we're the wild card in the bunch. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you get the good one or the bad one, which one?
Yeah.
You know, you have some, it's always an interesting process when you have parents who are pastors and you're this kid and you have to be perfect. Did you ever feel that way, or kind of what was that experience like?
I'd say living under the scope, you definitely are judged a lot and you're held to a higher standard. You're held to a higher standard because you're perceived as being perfect, just because you have a life that you're expected to live as being a pastor's kid. I would definitely say in that regard, it's a lot of pressure, because when you're growing up, especially when you're like a teenager and a young adult, when you hit 21, your early 20s, you are pulled in both directions. I don't know, like, should I go to church? Do I want to go party? Do I want to hang out with my friends, or do I want to support my family in this ministry? Do I want to or like, do I want to do modeling, or am I going to get scolded for that because people may perceive that as a sin instead of it being like a skill or something that you're passionate about? So everyone has their own opinion and perception of you in regards to what they think how your life should be lived.
Yeah, no, and that's got to be an interesting balance between all of those dynamics, because optics, as a parents or as a pastor, people are looking to you, and if your kids are out of control, then how can you be an effective leader? So it's kind of that balance between everything, and then still trying to inspire you and motivate you. So did you, navigating through those wins, what was your biggest influence, or how do you think you did?
I'd say, honestly, my dad was my biggest influence, because he always allowed us to still be ourselves, because we still have to have our own story to tell at the end of the day. We still have to be a light to someone else. We still have to be able to share our experience with another individual. It doesn't mean that just because you're a pastor's kid that life doesn't happen to you. You still have your hardships and things that you have to overcome. So I'd say my dad was the one that really gave the best advice in regards to, if it doesn't feel right, don't go. If you are having second thoughts, pray about it. You know what I mean? Like, to still seek God's face, and look for answers if it's something that doesn't set right in your spirit. But he never tried to make us feel like we couldn't enjoy our life. He just let us know that it was that whatever decisions we made, we were the ones that were also going to be responsible for the consequences if it wasn't the best decision.
Yeah. People, they say that everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial.
Exactly.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
Because they say be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it all.
That's true.
Yeah.
Definitely be cautious of what you wish for.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
I can definitely say, like, give me an example. Like, do you mean in regards to being a pastor's kid or just in general life?
I guess maybe my question should come around this. Have you ever dealt with unanswered prayers? And how do you move on from that?
That's a really good question. Yes, I have dealt with an unanswered prayer. And the best way that I dealt with that was taking a step back to see why God isn't answering me. What kind of life was I living? What kind of doors did I have open as to why God kind of was like hands off at that time? I would definitely say, when you're praying about something that you desperately need an answer to, my best advice that really helped me is learning how to be still so that you can listen. You can't hear what God has to say to you if you're always busy, right? Because if he speaks to you and you miss it, then that's it. So I had to learn how to be still, how to stop running around, not to hang out with certain, friends or individuals, not to get involved in certain events or anything that was going on. You have to be still when you're trying to seek an answer from God and really be able to spend time with him, whether that's just sitting and worshiping or whether that's reading his word or just praying. You know what I mean? And it's about having that quality time with God to get those answers that you need. You can't get that if you're always occupied with something else.
Yeah. No, that's a very, very important point because we wake up in a hurry and we don't know why.
Right. Yeah.
We rush and rush, and life is just going by.
It is, and I would definitely say that, like, in this life, the only thing that's not redeemable is time. So you really have to be cautious about the decisions that you make, how it affects you. You can't always take everyone else into consideration.
What makes you anxious?
Oh, what makes me anxious? This interview. But I would say something that makes me anxious is when I know, or when I'm not expecting like a positive outcome of a situation. Like if I was to audition for something and I don't know if I got the part or if I was chosen for it, I am like on edge all the time. Like, oh my God, I just want to find out. Like if it's good or bad, that's something that definitely makes me anxious.
Yeah, it's some people have to know. Maybe it's the needing to know the answer or the questions before, when you don't know what you don't know. Maybe cause anxiety, right?
That's it.
Yeah. I understand that, but what this is really about, it's not about making you anxious, but just really kind of helping looking inside your heart and in your mind. That's kind of the mission of En Mi Tierra is, we believe you live an amazing life, and we just want to help you to say thank you to all of those that come in and all those who have gone. And and the anxiety is many times comes from a place of expectations.
Yeah.
We have an expectation. Then you really don't. Like even in this, I don't have an expectation except to plant seeds. And my job is to just do that and trust God and the universe and the earth to do the rest. And sometimes we go into situations, you talked about your modeling, are you going for them or are you going for yourself? And we may not always fit. That's okay. That doesn't mean we don't keep living. We keep trying. We don't keep making sound. That makes sense?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what kind of attributes do you look for in somebody to inspire you?
That's a great question. I would definitely say something that motivates me and another individual is when someone handles their business. If it's something that they're like, you know what, this is something that I'm going to set out to accomplish, and they actually do that, for me, that is so motivating, because that lets me know that, hey, if this individual can go about doing it, whether they're younger than me, older than me, or around the same age, I say that's definitely like the number one attribute that I definitely just take to, because you need that. You need people in your life who are doing better than you are, or I'll say in a different position, you know what I mean? Because it inspires you to keep going. And then, you know, I might inspire someone else to keep going. And it just trickles down. I would say another one that is a really good attribute to have is just a great outlook on life. The worst thing to be around is someone who is negative all the time. Like, life can be bad, but life is also what you make it. And if you always have a negative outlook, then you're just going to have, you know, things that are constantly happening to you, because then that's what your mindset is. You have a negative mindset, then that reflects the life that you live while you're stressed out all the time, while you're down all the time, or certain things haven't worked out, you know? So I would definitely say people who have a positive outlook, even in a bad situation, they look for the good in it. I absolutely love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting attributes to have. You know, people, they say surround yourself with people smarter than you. You know, if you're the smartest one in the room, you should get new friends.
Yeah, yeah, you're wrong for sure.
Right? It's like, I'm the smartest one. Versus, you know, because it helps you raise your standards.
It does.
You know, and I say surround yourself with the dreamers, the educators, the creators, the people who are doing things with their lives. Because in the end, you're going to die. So you might as well go do cool things in the meantime.
Exactly. And I mean, and in that regard, like, don't limit yourself to just networking with people who are in the same industry as you. You know, get to know people who work in healthcare, know people who work for the government, know people, you know what I mean, who are in, again, like different positions, you know what I mean? Because you don't know what you can give or take from each other. So it's like, don't limit yourself to, you know, what you consider a comfort zone. Become familiar with what is unfamiliar to you.
Yeah. And you have to remember and keep in mind that you are the light. You are a light. You know, it's like this mouse only knows how to be a mouse in whatever room it walks into.
Right.
And it doesn't have expectations about the other rooms and who's in it and what lamps or even what other mice are in there.
Right.
It's just there to do what it does. And I think when we get away from the race and competition and just make it an evolution of becoming better, of being better.
Right.
That makes sense?
It does.
What have you done to make yourself better? What do you do?
I'd say some things that I work on to better myself would definitely be self-perseverance. I had to learn how to put myself first in certain or many different situations. Sometimes when you are doing industry work, or if you're doing work in the church or what have you, you can lose sight of yourself, your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations. And I had to learn how to make myself a priority again. So I take care of, like, whatever my interest may be. Like, if I want to, I don't know, learn about science or outer space or something like that, then I'm going to take the time, you know, and do that and just relax in that, you know, taking care of my business, whether that be like paying off some bills or investing in different companies. That's something that I do, because nobody's going to take care of me the way I'm going to take care of me. So I had to learn how to put myself first. And that was something also that my mom taught me in regards to being a woman. You know, even though, like, the man that comes into your life is going to be a provider and everything like that. You still have to know how to fend for yourself. You still have to know how to take care of yourself, pay your bills, pay your rent, take care of everything. And then when that individual comes into your life, you guys are a helpmeet to each other, so that if things don't work out, sorry about that. If things don't work out, then you're not left starting over. So I definitely learned how to make myself a priority.
Yeah, when you get on an airplane, the stewardess at the front, they tell you got to put your air mask on first before you can help anyone else, right?
Exactly.
And it's a very interesting lesson learned, because if you don't become that way, then your prayers will become, Lord, help me feed them despite my own hunger. And so, if you realize that it's not a race or a competition, that as you become better at being better, then your family, friends, and fans could eat of your fruit, which is you just being you.
Right.
Right. That's if a tree can do it, then why can't we? Because we don't owe them and they don't owe us. And that's this thing about that goes back to expectations. Expect this versus appreciation. Just glad to be here. Glad that I'm in this position. Glad I have this look. I have this ability to sing a song or invent a light bulb.
Yeah.
And your calling, what do you think your calling is in this life? What are you going to be when you grow up?
Honestly, you are like the second person that's asked me that between last night and this afternoon. I would, I can't say for sure, to be honest, because I feel like based on the decisions that we make in life, your calling can change. Your interest as you get older, they change. Life is constantly changing all the time, every day. I'd say more than anything, I think I was put on this planet, in this life, to encourage, to have compassion, and to be a light. At the end of the day, it's not about existing and becoming famous or having millions of dollars or, trying to get all the attention that I can, because even all of that at the end of the day can be very empty. So I'd say the life that I live, I just wanted to affect the people that come into my life. I want to be able to, have memories with these individuals. I want to be able to, look back on certain things and be like, oh, I remember when that happened, and just build rapport with people, be an example, be a light, show a different side, provide a different perspective for people who may be one-sided or maybe closed-minded, That's what I think I was put on this planet to do, is to just stand out and be different as much as possible, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, amen. In being a light, it pierces the darkness. And
It
being
does.
a light, it inspires people to be drawn closer to it.
Right.
And so you, as that light, say, what do you want to reflect? Right? And so, and who and what do you want them to see? See Hannah, who has all the answers to the question, or see something greater that's within Hannah? And again, life is an evolution. Like you said, people get caught up in, just because I'm a plumber means I got to be a plumber for the rest of my life. Why can't I be a dog groomer or a truck driver or an electrician or a skydiver or an artist until I die? Be them all.
Exactly.
Okay? But in the end, remain the same, but the one that created you.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And what do you think forever is? What does that mean? What's supposed to last forever?
Something that's supposed to last forever, I would say love. in any aspect. I would definitely say, if you love somebody, if you're showing love to an individual, if it's self-love, you know, I definitely believe that love is something that goes on forever. Even if an individual passes away, you still have that warm feeling and those memories that are comforting to you, but they're also wrapped in love. You know, you never forget what love from that person feels like, or what love is like in that moment. You know, if there's anything that lasts forever, I would definitely say it's love.
Yeah, interesting perspective. Because love is one. It's you. It's what you have inside of you, and it's what you give, that energy that you give to that thing or that person. And they may not be in your presence anymore.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't still love the way that you love. And
Exactly.
I say, instead of looking for love, why don't you just be love? It's just,
Exactly.
what does it say what love is?
You said, what do I think love is?
You know, what do you, and it says, what does it say love is? It's 1 Corinthians 13, it says it's patient,
Right.
kind.
Gentleness. Yep. Meekness. Yep.
And if we started with yourself, look, if we start loving yourself, like you said, be kind to yourself, be gentle, stop keeping records of wrong. Self-controlled means that I am in control of how I react and how I think.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's other, it's not envious, jealous, or boastful. So it doesn't worry about what other kids on the playground are doing or not doing, who's sleeping with who, and who's pregnant, and who doesn't. It just hopes and it perseveres and it moves forward.
Right.
You talked about perseverance earlier.
Yeah. It.
So what does perseverance mean to you?
I would say perseverance means the ability to overcome something, but come out strong on the other side. I would definitely say, for example, people may not know that I was diagnosed with scoliosis when I was younger. And if you don't know what scoliosis is, it's basically like a vitamin deficiency in your spine. And so you develop like a curvature, which depending on how bad the curvature can get, it can begin to compress your organs. And so my curvature was bad enough to the point that I actually had to have what's called a spinal fusion on my back. And if you've ever seen me at shows, I have this giant scar from the top of my back to the bottom of my back. And so I would say my perseverance in that, it really had to kick in, because I wasn't going to allow myself to become depressed. I wasn't going to allow the situation to cripple me. You know, I would definitely say I just wasn't going to give in to something that could have easily brought me down. So I made it a mission, you know, to have the most positive outlook that I possibly can, to have that strengthening, you know, and not just in a physical aspect, but definitely mentally and spiritually and emotionally, like all of that, because that definitely ties into each other in regards to having perseverance for you to have the expected outcome, you know, that you want. So I didn't allow it to get me down. Like, okay, yes, does it suck that I have this disease and I have to have corrective surgery to have this, all of this apparatus and this metal put in my body? It does, you know, but I stayed positive to it. You know, I did what I had to do in regards to becoming healthy again and strengthening myself to get the outcome that I wanted to get. And I would definitely say, like, coming out on the other side of that, I'm definitely stronger, because now I can encourage people who may be going through that. I can let them know what to expect, and I can give them tips on how to overcome it and not allow it to affect them in a negative manner. So I did come out stronger, you know, because I came out stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, and I didn't get down in my situation. So I'm grateful that God carried me through that. So I'm happy, even till this day.
Wow. Wow. And I bet a lot of people didn't know that about you. Because we ultimately, it's a choice. You know, that was a hard experience, and other people, they either lose somebody or have to go through a illness or something like these, something painful.
Right.
Yeah, but they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, that was it for sure.
so now here you are, stronger and stuff, and wiser and more gentle, and in a lot of those different ways.
Right.
And so, one of the things that you talk about your modeling thing. What kind of drew you into that aspect of your life?
You know, in regards to modeling, give me 1 second so that my phone does not die on us. Okay. So in regards to modeling, I would definitely say, one, my sister used to model, Tisa Brown, and she was amazing. You know, she did a really great job. And she's actually the one that encouraged me to initially get involved in it. She said, "Oh, Hannah, you know, I think that you would be really good in it. Like, you're young, you know, you're petite, you have a really, you know, like, nice frame. So why don't you just give it a shot?" So a lot of people may not know that I worked with, his name is Michael Walker. He's a great photographer. You know, he definitely was the one that initially taught me how to model and like helped me get started. So shout out to you. Thank you so much. As well as I'd say Francis and Marnie too. Walking for Red Ball was the first show I did, and Francis was the first designer I ever walked for. So shout out to you guys as well. Thank you so much. But I'd say I got involved in it because growing up, my mom and I would hang out and watch black and white movies, and I just fell in love with fashion. I went to college for fashion design, and it just so happened that I actually ended up in the industry. And so I would definitely say modeling honestly brought me really good opportunities. It brought me to people I thought I would never get to know. It put me in positions where I gained a lot of experience, whether that was in shooting or runway or networking or doing public speaking. I definitely was just shocked at the opportunities and the people that I met. And it's brought really good memories, really good friendships. I've built really good rapport with people. I say for me, modeling has been a really good time. And then I was able to find my niche within that, you know, realizing that I liked working on the backside, because runway is nerve-wracking, to be honest. People may not realize that, but the whole time you are walking down that runway, you're just thinking, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Pose, use your lighting, know your angle. Okay, now go back and get off. But I would definitely say modeling has been fun. It's always an adventure. It's never a dull moment. There's nothing but opportunities, you know. Just don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself.
That's right. That's right. If anything, you know, I tell folks what you'll get out of it is you'll get some experience, some exposure, some opportunities and fun and some photos and a time of your life that you can never take back. It says, who knows where it'll go? Who knows where it'll go? At least you had a great time. You did some things that you're proud of. And don't take it so serious. You know,
Yeah.
But that's real crucial. Do what you're proud of, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm proud of it. I'm definitely proud of it. I got to meet you, you know what I mean? And we had a good time. I've shot with you before as well and helped in your shows and worked your shows. And you're great. You're fun. People love you, Anthony. They really do.
Yeah. You know, I just love people to believe mostly in themselves.
Yeah.
And my goal was for them to all fall in love with you. And then you choose who you wanted to have in your circle. And you know, there's a lot of beautiful distractions in our lives, and you know, sometimes the noise becomes noise, but that's where it has to go back to us, to our why. And why are we doing this? You know, going back to the experience. And if it's time to get off the ride, just get off the ride.
Right.
And what do you think that as you move forward in life, are you gonna work more behind the scenes on that? Are you gonna get more involved in your church? What do you do? You volunteer? Have any hobbies? What else are you working on?
I would definitely say in regards to like my life and where I see myself over time. Right now, I would definitely say I'm just trying to balance it all. I'm trying to figure out, you know, if modeling one in particular is something that I want to stay involved in, or do I want to pursue something different? You know, it just kind of brings me back to the beginning of our interview when I said, you know, things are always changing. Our interests change, you know, so I feel like, you know, whatever doors God opens are the doors that I'm going to walk through. Whatever experiences are there, whoever it is that I'm meant to meet, you know, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to new opportunities. I'm looking forward to, you know, a different industry. I'm looking forward to either staying in or doing something completely different. Who knows? You know, this life is full of surprises. And I'm sure we're shocked at every turn we take. So I would definitely say my family, in regards to their ministry, they will always have my support. They are a priority for me. That is not something that I'm going to allow fall by the wayside, because it's not easy in ministry. It definitely isn't. And everybody can use support, you know, so, and not just saying that because they're my family, you know, but honestly, like if you grew up in church, or you know what it's like, you know, to really have to be supportive, especially as the pastor's kid, you know, that you have to be there. And for me, that's a given. I'm going to be there. I would definitely say in regards to like my personal goals, I would like to, again, just see, you know, where life takes me. Whatever doors God opened are the doors I'm going to walk through, and be the best me I can be every time.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, I've learned in this life, I may not always know what I want because it's being revealed to me, but I know what I don't want.
Oh, that's a good one.
I know what I don't want. That's what I do know. And so I'm not going to allow people in my life that are going to, you know, try to bring me down, but try to build me up. And that includes family and friends.
Yeah.
And that's important because that's why we exist, right?
Yeah.
To kind of be for each other, but not to keep bringing us down. I understand maybe you might trip up once or twice, but at some point this has to be between you and God and your counselor or your parole officer. It's not my place anymore.
Yeah.
You know? And what do you want people to remember you?
I would say the one thing that I want people to remember me for is my bubbly personality. I feel like, you know, anytime you've been around me, I've always done my best to be like in the best mood, to be very positive, to be loving and encouraging, to make people feel comfortable. And I'd say that's something that I want to be remembered by. Not anything negative, not that, you know, that I can get crazy sometimes, because we all have that side. But I definitely want to be remembered because just of how happy I was. I feel like, you know, I always try to just bring a positive atmosphere, no matter who I was around, no matter what it was I was doing, you know, just laughs, being silly, being goofy. That's me. That's who I am. That's the person I enjoy being the most, is Happy Hannah.
Happy Hannah. That's awesome. It's awesome. Because again, the opposite is not being happy in this life. And sadly, a lot of people pass that kind of lifestyle and think that there's no hope in all of this.
Yeah.
And so if people wanted to follow your work, where can they find you?
They can find me in a couple of different things. So you can find a lot of my work on coolliving.com. You can find it at the Festival of Colors. You can find some of my work with
Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, you can do it. Instagram. Well, my Instagram, it got hacked, unfortunately, so I will have to restart a new Instagram page.
Okay.
But I'm on Snapchat at honeybee27. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. So there are multiple ways for you to get in touch with me.
At the end of this video, we'll put a link to all of your sites and stuff, that way folks can find you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And so, you know, Hannah, I've been a fan of yours for years. I've watched you grow. I've watched you evolve. And, you know, I wish I could be more and do more, but just know that I'm proud of you. And I know that you have no idea what's in store for you in the future. And God's going to continue to just open up these opportunities to share your light with the world. And I encourage you to just continue to be that happy and to continue to build yourself up so that we can all reap the benefits of you being the best version of yourself. And because nothing lasts forever, I just want to thank God for you and for our time. That if I never see you again in this life or the next, you know, just know I had a blast with you and we did some cool things together. The En Mi Tierra program, you know a little bit about it. If folks are interested in it, send them our way. You know, as you know about the program, it's a very powerful ministry of love. And we just wanted to help you tell everybody that you love. Thank you for their part in your journey. Yeah.
Well, Anthony, I do want to tell you thank you, actually, for asking me to do this interview, for being a very positive person in my life. You know, I think that you're really awesome at what you do. You know, you are a very transparent person and you don't mind sharing that about yourself, you know, and it's very encouraging because it lets people know, you know, like, hey, you know, I'm flawed too, but there's also like a level of ease where people can come to you and talk to you and be comfortable in that, you know. So for me, you know, I really just want to take the time to tell you thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing with En Mi Tierra. I think that it's really great helping families, you know, set up their life insurance policy so that, you know, because you never know when your last day is going to be, you know. And so in that regard, you should live every day to the fullest, the best that you possibly can, even in quarantine. But I would definitely say that your program for helping middle-class families, low-class families, you know, to help them make it through a tough time, I think that that's amazing, and it goes on and beyond, and it just shows a softer side of you. You know, that you don't mind doing this. You know, that you do understand that there's people out there that are struggling, but you also are a part of the solution by lending a helping hand. So I definitely support En Mi Tierra and what you guys are doing. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. You know, I just want the world to know how great you are, and the fact that we can create a program around that for individuals. It's like no greater honor. My friends, I just encourage you all that you just get better at being better. This is Jorge Antonio sharing some inside the heart and the mind of Hannah Brown. Reach out to her. She's a real person. She's a kind person. She's definitely a mentor and a coach, and can give you a little bit of hope in your life. So I look forward to seeing and following more of your work. Hannah, peace out, my friend. Love you, peace.
Love you too. Hi Hi, everybody. Just wanted to tell you thank you so much for watching my interview. My name is Hannah Brown, and I want you guys to take a moment and subscribe to this channel. They are amazing. They do amazing things. They work with people in regards to their families. If you have any questions, you can learn it all here on this channel. Thanks again. Have a great day.